Welcome back, everybody, to episode 3 of this starter build Let's Play. And I'm liking the design. We're finally out of the woods. We're making some good money here. We are finally making some good money. I'm liking the design overall of the city. I'm thinking, though, it is time to potentially try to actually move into a little bit of a specialized industry. I think this could be a nice little forestry area out here. Won't be too, there won't be much pollution from that, hopefully. So that'll be kind of almost a logical buffer, I think. I think that'll be a logical buffer between this industry and the in the residential over here. So we might actually want to actually connect. We might want to actually make a bridge right here. That would actually make a lot of sense. That would actually make a lot of sense to have a bridge that goes from here over to here. Let's just do that right now before we forget about it. Whoops, we did not want to make that grounded. I do not want to block that river. So let's switch that before the water freaks out. Good. I think that's actually gonna be a nice little connection. Of course, we don't want people coming from the freeway turning right and then going up to here. Like, so ideally what you'd probably do is if you had traffic manager, or if you had after dark, you could make this old town. That means that no one would use this road for through traffic. You could ban heavy truck traffic here, so that actually banning heavy truck traffic, I don't even know if you need after dark for that. You might be able to do that just in the base game, one of the policies, right? So you'd make a little district here, and you would ban heavy trucks on this bridge, basically. You could do this with traffic manager mod too, but basically what that would mean is that the only people that would be using this would be civilians trying to get to work, essentially, right? Honestly, even just making it well, you don't want to make it a one-way because you need people coming back too. I don't know. You'd probably want to use traffic manager to slow this down, maybe even add a toll, make it a toll bridge or something like that. That could be kind of interesting. I think tolls are, yeah, the tolls were just added for free when industries came out, right? So everybody has toll roads. So something like a toll road right here would actually make a lot of sense. A lot of sense. But yeah, what we wanted to do, what we're bracing for here, is to set this up as a basically to set this up as a forestry area, which is going to involve bopping. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. Which is going to involve bopping. Actually, let's do that. Let's bring that out just so we can get that there. I'm going to leave this for now, but it could be that, yeah, it could be that we don't actually leave this road, because that might end up sort of being a kind of a nightmare intersection right there for the cars. I think, yeah, what we're doing out here, right, is we're just kind of trying to sort of grid this area up and take advantage of a lot of this wooded area. No, do you have to go 5? I'm not sure if the angle's a 45. I don't even know if it is a 45. It is a 45. So we have something here, right? I'm gonna have something here. I think we're gonna bop that. But that's gonna be kind of a cool little wooded area. That's gonna be kind of a neat little wooded area, I think. And let's set this to forestry and start zoning. Getting these redwoods, of course, you know, obviously maybe it's sad to see the redwoods get cut, but there you go. We're in the Redwood River here. We got redwoods for days, and we're gonna need to bop some of these just to build industry anyways. We might as well be using the local resources. We've hit tiny town. I repeat, we've hit 1600 pop. So hopefully that'll be another little influx of cash. We have room to do more residential here. Let's make sure we're on speed 3 though. We are getting some commercial demand, so we do need to think about commercial design. I think, however, right now though, in fact, we actually have pathways, so we know what to do with the pathways here. Is, I think, clean up the zoning a little bit by doing our trick that we've been doing. I think we've done this in every city so far, because it really is important to kind of just clean up those corners and things and get the buildings built on the right sides that you want them built on. The cool thing about this though, actually, wait a second. I'm I'm thinking that a park right here, if we bring this road out, but we don't connect, do we not have snapping on? We turned off snapping because of the pathways. I wish pathways would have like an auto, like I wish its default was to not snap and road's default was to snap, and then it just like figured it out like that. That'd be kind of neat to me, I think. Let's get a little park in here, actually. There we go. And what that's going to do is that's going to help bounce the power across this way. Maybe another park over there, and that should make a little power bridge. Now that we've made a power bridge, we can actually go through and get rid of a lot of these nasty power lines. Not all of them, unfortunately, are getting bopped, but some of them. I think what we're going to want to do is be a little bit more meticulous with these power lines. We have the money to do this, too. I don't think we're going to build anything on this corner, so let's just... I don't know, let's just get these across. This isn't going to look good, but, you know, it is what it is. That's going to all connect into there, so then this, basically, we just need a piece, like, right here to connect across to, like, right there. And I think that is all the power lines we're actually going to need in the entire city. So let's try removing all these and seeing if everything explodes or not. Things seem to be exploding on us. But in the sewage department, what's the dealio with... Oh, we actually just need more power. Wow. Wow. We're making 2,000... Okay, we're making a ton of money, though. So I don't think there's going to be any issue in adding another coal power plant. That's going to give us tons of power. But yeah, we have cleaned up the power line significantly. Of course, as this develops out here, right, we won't need these. And to get across there to there is going to be a little bit tricky, but I think one thing that would make a lot of sense would probably be just going in with, again, just kind of going in with a big park right here or something. How is that going to look on that sort of water? Actually, it looks pretty good. Actually looks pretty good. So that basically lets us kind of bop that back a bit. That doesn't look too bad, and we can use Move It to even make this a little bit cleaner, but I think I like that. I think I like that right there. Kind of fits in that section. Maybe we'd want to go in with more trees and stuff to kind of nestle it a little bit better. But I think what we have is looking kind of nice. Redwood sticking up between those trees. This tree seems to be fairly close to the road, but I guess technically it is growing up out of the dirt. We're making tons of money. Tons of money. Water needs to get raised up. Water needs to get raised up. 100%, so we can stop thinking about water now for a while. Commercial design. Okay, so we have an interesting, right? This will continue to develop, I think. The residential, I think, will be able to continue to develop around this sort of a design, this sort of swirling circle that's sort of coming into this point up here. It's kind of like fanning out a little bit as it kind of goes this way, except we're building it the other direction. What we need to think about, though, is the commercial design, which is kind of a bummer that we don't have access to this area down here, because I think you can imagine how this would probably do something like that. This would hook in, and then it would keep going and such. And maybe we'd want to do some kind of beachy stuff down here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we'd be able to get away with there. Alternatively, we have these sections, which we could go in with some gridding, which I don't think would look bad. Or we could actually do some other sort of geometric shapes and things like that. Let's try just kind of going in with some like 1515s. See if can we get 2 of these? Yeah, we can actually. I'm kind of intentionally just doing some different shapes and things. I mean, what happens if we give that a 10-10 curve and we kind of like, maybe that goes through and connects down here or something. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up at this point, right? Just making stuff up. Obviously, this needs to, not be on the road. I don't think this is terrible. I mean, I think, what you can do is, right, you can take this now and then we can curve this. Especially if we do like a curved road right there. We get a 90? That's an 89.7. Again, we take those. Actually, wait a second. Hold on. Let's go out like 3 meters. What is the distance here? It's 15. So let's go 15 out here and mark it with like a little 3-unit thing. And then let's hook these 2 up. Is it going to want to actually line? Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. So there's a little bit of a straight section there. So it's a little bit not exactly a perfect swooping curve the whole time, but I don't think, you know, to the naked eye, I think that's pretty good. Pretty good. But we have a little bit, honestly, I think even just having this go straight could be kind of nice as like an anchor. And you can kind of see how a lot of these roads are kind of ultimately probably going to be converging in interesting ways, maybe a roundabout down here, something like that. I think if this wanted to curve, though, that would make sense too, right? Because what this could do is this could actually try to curve in to sort of meet up here. That would be kind of interesting to have this and then have this curve into here. That would be very different. But it kind of goes with some of the curves that we have going into this area. Honestly, I think that's looking cool. I think that's looking good. I think we got ourselves a nice little commercial area that'd be easy to expand. We have some interesting areas if we wanted to put the parks in some of these areas. I think some of these skinnier areas could be left open for just trees and walkways and things like that, or unique buildings could go there. I think this is looking nice. I think this is actually looking pretty nice. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Let's get it piped up here. So we don't have to worry about this anymore. This road is kind of going straight, but I think it is going to need, well, I don't know, actually. If we just kind of keep getting rid of this, we keep getting rid of this rail, and again, I don't think, right, there's no way that we're going to permanently get rid of it. We're just going to be pushing it back a little bit, because I don't think we're going to need it right there. It's cool that it pops in. Of course, to delete that, we had to use move it, because it is slightly outside the map here. But, you know, I don't know. We might have to just start freestyling this, because I think it does make sense that we're going to be kind of bringing this back around. Actually, yeah, that's an interesting idea. What if we actually had this straight up connect in perfectly like that? Does that look good or not? I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. Eee. Okay, here, let's redo that. Let's redo that. Let's get it perfectly 90 if we can. Let's bring this out. There we go. That's going to be a 90 connect now. Now it's 90, 90, everything's 90. We're good. We're good. Question is, does this actually hook in that tightly? Or does this kind of go more up like that and something else maybe kind of hooks in tightly? I mean, it kind of makes sense that this would hook in. Except for maybe it doesn't because... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where this goes. Where this goes or what this does. Makes sense to me that it would go out kind of straight in each of the bits. For a bit at least. And maybe once it's here, maybe it kind of just follows back that upper cliff side. Sort of on the higher side of the cliff. Because we do kind of have that little bit of a plateau here. And I think, honestly, these homes right here, I think are about to get bopped. So I just don't think we want them on this main road at all. It's just not where we want them. This can then, I mean, is this just going to be a little bit more sort of grid? Are we going to sort of pretend that these lines connect even though they kind of don't? Well, they could. There's no reason why they couldn't, actually. That's the funny thing about it. This actually could connect. There's a little bit of an up incline, but... What is it? If we have snapping on completely and we go straight, what do we get? Not a 90-90, but that's okay. And we're just trying to fill the space, right? Just fill the space. We know this is going to be a neighborhood. I think it makes sense that that sort of swoops up there. Maybe then it goes straight here. I mean, maybe that kind of ties that off, gets that back connected. Now we have this big sort of pod shape, and we're kind of off to the races here. We have some empty spaces here. I mean, you know, parks. We could keep sort of moving in roads if we think that there's sort of room to add roads here, which I'm not sure if there is or isn't. I think overall that's actually kind of a nice little design. I don't think we're going to want anything to cross right there though, because we are again going to try to get people to use the roundabout as, you know, as much as possible. But maybe it would make sense if this came up straight here. Let's just pretend. Let's pretend that actually came up straight, which it doesn't, and we're not going to leave it because that's going right up a cliff. And maybe this sort of swoops back in this way. I don't know. Can we line this up a little bit better? Can we get like a better angle here? I'm not liking those angles that it's giving us. 157.6 and whatever else, just other random angles. That's really just looking not great. It does look cool that this connects, but then I feel like unless this connects into here, it isn't going to make sense. And I don't even know if that makes sense to even have it connect there. It kind of does create a different shape here. Like this is kind of a big macro shape that's kind of created by that connection. But it's like, does it make sense that it goes here and then there's four-way there and then there's roundabout there? I mean, do these three intersections make sense all like bam, bam, bam like that? That's what I'm kind of worried about. I don't think we'd really be able to shoot that into there and make a five-way. That'd be also really goofy. I think overall, at least we're filling the space up here in an acceptable way to be able to go in and add some more zoning. What I think we could do though, right? Pathways, that's what I'm looking for. Clip these. We definitely don't want zoning on that section. And then I think from here, right? And I don't think we have zoning on this side of the road at all. And to do that, we could, you know, remind ourselves of that. Actually, a fence would probably look good. We don't have any fences because we don't have park life. Rip. That's just how it goes sometimes. Park life and industries actually both add a few fences. It would have been nice if campus added some fences too, but it did not. The fences, I think, are some of the coolest things that those added, actually. Obviously, Park Life and Industry are just two great DLCs, but the fences are really, really neat. I guess you've always been able to download them, but I think the way that they work, kind of just like you're doing roads or pathways and stuff, they work really, really well. Leaving some of these little bits unzoned because I don't think those are going to look good zoned. But honestly, here we go. We're just filling it in, you know? I actually thought these were bugs on my screen. I kid you not. I thought that bear was a bug on my screen. Holy cow. That actually kind of freaked me out a little bit. Not that I'm scared of bugs or anything. I just like, what in the world? Are there like a bunch of little critter crawlers going on my... like, where'd these guys come from? You know what I mean? Infestation or something. Holy cow, that actually scared me a little bit. Because I couldn't tell what that was. And I didn't want to make a big scene of it if I thought it was actually real bugs on my screen. But no, those were just little bears moving about. So this is the forestry area. It doesn't quite fit, right? Thematically, it doesn't really look super good. But for what we're doing... However, I think what we want to do is, again, more sort of path work, right? Boomtown, 2,800 people. We're moving. We're moving and we're grooving. Now we have tons of money, guys. Somehow this town just went from 0 to hero. This town just went from 0 to hero. I'm happy with this. Very happy with this. We have a nice little forestry area. I think this it actually makes a lot of sense that our town here has forestry going. I'm going to make sure that all of this is in the zoned area, though, because I want to make sure this all comes out as forestry. I'm also trying to make sure that we don't cover up the areas of regular industry so that those get bopped in a bad way. Oops. Game's being a little bit annoying there. It's trying to snap to the road. Sometimes that's amazing, and sometimes that's not so amazing. Do we have freeways unlocked? Can we actually adjust this? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Again, right, we're just going to make these elevated sections through here to clean up those unders that we built. There we go. Maybe just have that all be elevated, is it because it's just going right into a bridge sequence? So I think that would make sense. But yeah, that's looking good now. We definitely could start just growing out here, right? We could just start growing industry out here. I think we'd want to at least layer it one back at least with some dirt. Roads. It'd be kind of cool to make it look like this continue through, but I don't know if we're going to be able to actually do that. I'm not getting any snapping here because we don't have snapping turned on. I think let's ride the coast a little bit more here. Kind of makes sense. Lumber would be like right tight with that water. I don't know if we actually have any piping or anything out here. We have power. There's power right there at least. But yeah, no, the piping's all covering. Okay, piping's covering. Good, good, good. What do we need? Let's go up to speed 2. I think there's some other services that we need to put down as well, isn't there? So there's still some things we can do. The city is not completely finished. Of course, well, obviously it's not finished, but the starter build's not even finished. It's not completely self-sufficient. It's not completely sustainable on its own right now. So let's keep working on it in the next episode. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. This exercise in design. I'm liking what we got going here. I'm liking what we got going here. Very definitive industrial wedge, residential wedge, commercial wedge. But honestly, I think it's actually looking pretty neat. I think the city is actually like I don't know, guys. Like this has been fun. This has been a huge help for me personally, just getting a little bit more loosened up, you know, on starting cities, not being so worried about it, just going and going and going and just seeing what happens. You know, some of it you like, some of it you don't like. But thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out and watching this episode. I will see you guys in the next one.